Every morning, Linda drags herself out of bed, her knees creaking like an old wooden floor. At 68, she's no stranger to hard work. She raised 3 kids, held down a job for decades, and always kept her small Ohio home spotless. But these days, the thought of grabbing the broom or lugging the vacuum cleaner makes her heart sink. Her back aches before she even starts, and her hands, stiff from arthritis, protest every move. I just want to enjoy my coffee without staring at crumbs on the floor, she sighs, feeling defeated by the dust bunnies multiplying in the corners. It wasn't always like this. Linda used to breeze through chores, humming along to the radio. Now, each task feels like climbing a mountain. The mop is too heavy, bending to scrub the bathtub is a gamble with her balance, and don't even mention hauling laundry baskets to the basement. She's not alone. Millions of Americans, whether they're retirees like Linda, busy parents, or folks juggling chronic pain, know this struggle all too well. Housework doesn't just tire the body, it wears on the spirit. Linda wonders, how can I keep my home clean without running myself into the ground? The truth is, nobody should have to grit their teeth through chores that leave them drained. Life's too short for that. Linda dreams of a tidy living room where she can relax with a book, not wrestle with a dustpan. She wants her kitchen to feel welcoming, not like a battleground of spills and smudges. It's not about being lazy. It's about living in a space that lifts you up, not drags you down. For Linda, and for so many others, the question isn't just about cleaning. It's about reclaiming time and energy for what matters. A good laugh with her grandkids, a quiet evening with her husband, or simply a moment to breathe. The good news? You don't have to do it all alone anymore. There's no rule saying housework has to be a solo slog. Linda's starting to hear about tools and tricks that could lighten her load, maybe a robot vacuum that zips around while she sips her coffee, or a lightweight gadget that grabs dust without making her bend. She's curious, even a little hopeful. Could these things really make a difference? Could they give her back the joy of a clean home without the pain? You deserve to live comfortably, not chained to a chore list that feels impossible. A clean house shouldn't cost you your health or your happiness. There's a better way, one that's kinder to your body and your peace of mind. Linda's ready to find it, and maybe you are too. It starts with believing you're worth it and taking that first small step toward a home that feels like a haven, not a hurdle. Linda's kitchen was her pride and joy, but lately, it felt like a losing battle. Crumbs from her grandkids' snacks, dog hair from her golden retriever, Max, and dust that seemed to appear out of nowhere, it was too much. At 68, with arthritis nagging at her wrists and a back that groaned every time she bent down, vacuuming or sweeping left her exhausted before noon. I just want to enjoy my home, not fight it, she muttered, staring at the floor that never stayed clean for long. Then her daughter, Sarah, showed up with a surprise. A sleek little robot vacuum named Buddy. Linda raised an eyebrow. A robot? I don't even know how to use my smartphone half the time. But Sarah insisted it was simple. She pressed a button and Buddy sprang to life, zipping under the coffee table, dodging chair legs and sucking up every speck of dirt. Linda watched, half expecting it to get stuck, but Buddy hummed along, quietly tackling the mess while she sipped her morning coffee. For the first time in months, she didn't feel like the floor was mocking her. Buddy wasn't just a gadget, it was a game changer. Every morning, Linda would hit the start button and let it do its thing. It scooted under furniture she hadn't touched in years, grabbed pet hair like a pro, and even handled the crumbs her grandkids left behind. No more dragging out the heavy vacuum or wincing as she pushed a broom. For someone like Linda, with stiff joints and limited energy, Buddy was a lifeline. It gave her back hours she used to spend aching and sweating over chores. What surprised Linda most was how easy it was. No complicated apps or tech know-how needed just a button and a smile. She learned there were other tools out there too, like cordless stick vacuums that weighed next to nothing or mops that sprayed cleaner with a tap. These weren't sci-fi fantasies. They were affordable, designed for real people who wanted clean homes without the hassle. Linda's neighbor, Tom, who dealt with chronic fatigue, swore by his robot vacuum too. It's like having a helper who never complains, he joked. Linda started to see her home differently. With Buddy on duty, she could focus on what she loved, baking cookies with her grandkids, reading a mystery novel, or just relaxing on her porch. The stress of keeping up with housework faded, replaced by a sense of freedom. She didn't have to choose between a clean house and her health anymore. You don't need to be a tech whiz to let machines lighten your load. Whether it's a robot vacuum like Buddy or another simple tool, these helpers are built for folks like Linda, and maybe you too. They're proof that a tidy home doesn't have to come at the cost of your energy or joy. All it takes is one small step to let technology do the heavy lifting. Linda loved doing laundry. It was her thing. The hum of the washer, the fresh scent of detergent, it all felt like a little victory. But at 68, carrying that heavy laundry basket across her Ohio home was no joke. One Tuesday, she nearly tripped on a rug while lugging a load to the basement. Her heart raced as she caught herself on the wall, the basket spilling socks and towels everywhere. This can't keep happening, she thought, rubbing her sore shoulder. Her back was screaming, and for the first time, laundry felt like a hazard, not a routine. She mentioned the scare to her friend Carol at their weekly coffee meetup. Carol's eyes lit up. "You need a rolling laundry cart, Linda. Changed my life." Linda was skeptical. How could a cart make that much difference? But Carol insisted, describing hers, lightweight, with wheels that glided smoothly and dividers to sort whites from colors right away. "No more hauling heavy loads, yeah," she said. "And it's safer." Intrigued, Linda ordered one online that afternoon, picking a cheery blue model with sturdy handles. When it arrived, she gave it a test run. Loading the cart was a breeze towels in one section, shirts in another. Instead of carrying it, she just pushed it to the laundry room. No strain, no wobbles. It rolled over her hardwood floors and even the tricky rug that nearly took her down before. Sorting was faster too, thanks to the built-in compartments. For Linda, whose arthritis made every lift a gamble, this was a revelation. Laundry went from a risky chore to something she could handle without a second thought. The cart wasn't just about convenience, it gave her confidence. She didn't have to brace herself for pain or worry about falling. It was a small change, but the impact was huge. Linda started noticing other little tweaks that could help. A lightweight mop for quick spills, a grabber tool to pick up socks without bending. Each one shaved off stress and effort, letting her save her energy for what mattered, like playing checkers with her grandkids or tending her garden. Linda's story isn't unique. Across America, folks dealing with achy joints, busy schedules, or just the wear and tear of life are finding that tiny upgrades can transform their days. A rolling cart, a divided hamper, or even a basket with handles can turn a daunting task into a manageable one. Carol's tip about picking a cart with dividers stuck with Linda, it cut her sorting time in half, leaving her free for a second cup of coffee. You don't need to overhaul your routine to feel better at home. One smart tool like Linda's rolling cart can lift a weight off your shoulders literally. It's proof that small changes pack a big punch, making your space safer and your life easier. Why not give it a try? Linda used to dread sweeping her kitchen floor. At 68, every stroke of the broom sent a twinge through her back. And the dust? It flew everywhere, mocking her efforts. Her Ohio home, cozy as it was, seemed to collect pet hair and crumbs faster than she could keep up. Bending to scoop debris into a dustpan was the worst. Her knees groaned, and her arthritis flared. "There's gotta be a better way," she grumbled, wiping sweat from her brow after another frustrating cleanup. One afternoon, her neighbor, Ellen, dropped by and noticed Linda's struggle. "You ever try a floor lint roller?" Ellen asked, pulling out a wide, sticky roller from her bag. She demonstrated, gliding it across Linda's floor. Dog hair, dust, and even a stray Cheerio vanished, clinging to the adhesive sheet. No bending, no sweeping, no clouds of dust. Linda was floored. "That's it?" "No dustpan?" Ellen grinned. "Tear off the sheet when it's full and you're done." Linda bought one the next day, a big, sturdy model designed for floors. The first time she used it, she felt like a kid with a new toy. She rolled it across her living room, watching pet hair and dirt stick like magic. No need to hunch over or wrestle with a heavy vacuum. It glided smoothly, picking up everything in its path. Cleanup took half the time, and her back didn't complain once. Even better, it was light enough to use every day, keeping messes from piling up. What really touched Linda was hearing about Ellen's dad, who used a walker but still cleaned his apartment with a similar roller. He loves it, Ellen said. Makes him feel independent. That stuck with Linda. This wasn't just about a clean floor, it was about dignity, about making life manageable no matter your age or mobility. For Americans dealing with sore joints, limited strength, or just too little time, tools like this were a godsend. They weren't fancy or expensive, just smart. Linda's roller became her go-to. Spilled cereal from her grandkids? A quick roll, and it was gone. Dog hair on the rug? Handled in minutes. She even kept it by the door for daily touch-ups, turning cleaning into a habit she didn't hate. It freed her to enjoy her home curling up with a book, chatting with her husband, or savoring a quiet sunset on her porch. You don't need to overhaul your cleaning routine to make a difference. A simple tool like a floor lint roller can cut the hassle and keep your space fresh without breaking your back. Across the country, folks are discovering these shortcuts that save time and energy. Linda's proof. A quick roll a day keeps the mess away, leaving you free for what really matters. Why not give it a spin? Linda's evenings used to end in a slump. At 68, after a day of wrangling grandkids or battling her achy joints, she'd collapse on her Ohio couch, surrounded by clutter. Dishes in the sink, throw pillows scattered, and a coffee mug or two on the table. It wasn't a disaster, but it nagged at her. Mornings were worse, waking up to a home that felt chaotic before her coffee even brewed. I just want to start the day calm, she sighed. But the thought of cleaning up at night felt like one more chore she didn't have the energy for. Then, at a book club meetup, her friend Susan shared a game changer. The 5-minute reset. Before bed, I spend 5 minutes tidying, Susan explained. Straighten the couch, rinse a few dishes, wipe the counter. It's not much, but it's like a gift to my morning self. Linda was skeptical. 5 minutes sounded too good to be true. But she was desperate for a change, so that night, she set a timer and gave it a shot. She started small, fluffing the couch cushions, stacking magazines, and carrying her mug to the sink. She wiped the kitchen counter with a damp cloth, tossing a stray napkin in the trash. When the timer beeped, she was stunned. Her living room looked inviting, and the kitchen felt under control. It wasn't perfect, but it was enough. The next morning, she walked into a space that felt peaceful, not overwhelming. This is what I've been missing, she thought, sipping her coffee without staring at yesterday's mess. That 5-minute habit became Linda's nightly ritual. Some nights she'd toss laundry in the hamper or sweep a few crumbs with her lint roller. Others she'd just clear the dining table and call it done. It wasn't about making her home spotless, it was about setting the stage for a better day. For Linda, whose arthritis and fatigue made big cleaning sessions tough, this was a lifeline. It turned tidying into a small act of self-care, not a burden. Across America, people like Linda are finding that tiny habits can transform their homes and mindsets. Susan's tips spread through their book club, with others raving about their own resets. A quick toy pickup for busy moms, or a sink scrub for retirees craving order. Linda loved how it felt like a reward, not a duty. Her mornings became moments to savor a quiet house, a clean slate, a chance to breathe. You don't need hours to make your home feel like a haven. 5 minutes before bed, straightening, wiping, or tossing clutter can work wonders. Linda's proof that small efforts add up, giving you a space that lifts your spirits. Why not try it tonight? Set a timer, do what you can, and wake up to a home that feels like a warm hug. Linda's home used to collect chaos like a magnet. At 68, she'd spot a spilled coffee ring or a stray sock in her Ohio living room and think, I'll deal with it later. But later turned into a weekend of overwhelming chores. Then her friend Maria shared a trick, the 1-minute rule. If it takes less than a minute, do it now, Maria said. Linda decided to try it. She started small, wiping a countertop splash, hanging her coat instead of tossing it on a chair, rinsing a mug before it crusted over. Each task took seconds, but the impact was huge. Her kitchen stayed tidier, her entryway less cluttered. For Linda, whose arthritis made big cleanups daunting, this was a relief. No more dreading a mountain of mess on Saturdays. The 1-minute rule caught on with her book club. Two Bessie moms and retirees alike loved how it nipped clutter in the bud. Linda noticed less stress, more calm. Her home felt like a sanctuary, not a to-do list. You don't need hours to keep things together. Try it. Tackle one quick task today. Those tiny wins add up fast. Linda used to think a clean house meant perfection, sparkling counters, flawless floors, not a speck of dust in sight. At 68, that goal felt like chasing a mirage in her cozy Ohio home. Her arthritis flared with every scrub, and her energy fizzled fast. She'd push through only to crash, feeling guilty that her place wasn't magazine ready. Why can't I keep up? She'd wonder, staring at a sink of dishes or a rug dusted with dog hair. Then, a chat with her daughter, Sarah, shifted everything. "Mom, it doesn't have to be perfect, just livable," Sarah said. "Do what makes you happy, not stressed." Linda took it to heart. She'd already embraced tools like her robot vacuum, Buddy, and a rolling laundry cart, plus habits like the 5-minute reset and 1-minute rule. But Sarah's words gave her permission to stop aiming for spotless and start aiming for enough. Enough meant a home where she could relax, not one that drained her. Now Linda cleans with intention, not obligation. Buddy zips around daily, keeping floors tidy enough for her grandkids to play. Her lint roller grabs pet hair before it builds up, and her nightly reset clears the coffee table for morning calm. She doesn't deep clean every corner bathroom tiles might wait a week, and that's okay. Her home feels warm, not sterile, with just enough order to lift her spirits. For Linda, whose joints ache and stamina wanes, this balance is freedom. Across America, folks are learning the same lesson. Busy parents, retirees, or anyone stretched thin doesn't need a showroom house, just one that feels like home. Linda's friend Tom, who battles fatigue, keeps his place good enough with a few daily tasks, saving energy for fishing trips. Her book club pals swap stories of letting go of perfection, finding joy in small wins like a clutter-free couch. Linda loves that mindset. Every wiped counter or swept corner is a victory, not a chore. Letting go of all or nothing changed Linda's days. She spends less time cleaning and more doing what she loves. Baking pies, reading thrillers, or laughing with her husband on their porch. Her home isn't flawless, but it's hers, a place of comfort, not stress. That shift feels like a gift she's given herself. You don't have to do it all either. A tidy enough home is one where you can breathe easy, not one that runs you ragged. Start small, maybe wipe a table today or run your vacuum tomorrow. Each step counts, no perfection required. Linda's proof. Just enough is plenty to make your space a haven. Take that first step now. You deserve a home that feels as good as you want it to, without the weight of perfect holding you back.